1990, Roland Garros near the Bois de Boulogne. It's a festive, very French atmosphere as this great city takes an annual two-week holiday to celebrate one of the four major events in tennis. The French Open brings the best players in the world to Paris, where the ambiance emphasizes the spirit. Vive la tennis! And center court, center stage today belongs to 18-year-old Monica Seles and the world's #1 Steffi Graf. They met in Berlin 3 weeks ago, and Seles won in straight sets, snapping Graf's year-long winning streak at 66. Undaunted, Graf has rolled through this French Open. Jan Novotná, her victim in the semis. The 20-year-old German in the near court hasn't really been tested these 2 weeks, winning every match easily in straight sets. Today, it's the rematch with Seles, who is trying to extend her winning streak to 32 in a row. Seles advanced to the finals, beating 14-year-old phenom Jennifer Capriati in the semifinals. It was a much-anticipated matchup of two wonderfully talented young women, one that promises to be the duel of the decade of the 1990s. Seles won the first meeting, 6-2, 6-2. She anticipates a rematch with the world's best Graf today.
I would just go out there and run for every ball, and if she plays well, she gets winners, and she's better that day.
It's going to be a tough final playing against her. She really plays well from both sides, hitting it hard. Doing good.
To the winner, the Tennis Championship of France, a Grand Slam treasure. It's the omnipotent Steffi Graf against the precocious 16-year-old Monica Seles. NBC Sports proudly presents Saturday's Sports Showcase. Today, the Women's Championship of the 1990 French Open.
To England and Wimbledon, and she left a lot of good memories as well. Au revoir. It was hello to Roland Garros for Steffi Graf, seeking another Grand Slam win. She ducked showers on her arrival on the grounds, as did Monica Seles. Seles is looking for her 6th consecutive tournament win. Seles through the fans and into the players' locker room. Now, this is a match with incredible credentials. Since last year's French loss, Graf is 72-1. The one loss to Seles, who has won 31 in a row. Well, the weather in Paris consistent in its unpredictability. Splashes of sunshine and then rattles of lightning and thunder. So we may have some rain during the course of the day, but they're getting ready to play for the championship of 1990, the women's title. Steffi Graf, #1 against the #2 seed Monica Seles. And it'll take a while before they match your mark of 7 French titles. Any nervous butterflies as you think about your experiences?
They both will be very nervous before they walk out on the court, and it'll take a few games for them really fighting their nerves. But I think Steffi will be very inspired today. You know, she's looked a little bored with her matches. She's winning so easily, and because she lost to Monica 2 weeks ago, I think that'll be the incentive she needs.
So despite the fact she doesn't show any emotion, she is a proud champion?
She is very proud, and very rarely does she lose to the same person twice in a row.
And Monica Seles, we all look forward to that match against Capriati, and most of the press had Capriati winning it beforehand, but Seles took her apart.
Everyone picked Jennifer for some reason because they thought that youth would overcome experience, but I had a feeling that Monica would really get psyched up for that match. She didn't want to lose to someone younger than her.
Well, we have 2 women who have played brilliantly, Seles in a winning streak, Graf, who rarely is beaten. Graf, the one-hander, both wings, and we have a rare kind of player in Seles who hits two-handed, both backhand and forehand. Maybe you could help us appreciate how difficult that is. Let's see. Now, she's left-handed,
right.
So if she goes to her backhand, she hits this way.
Right.
And now she goes back forehand and she hits.
And she does not change her hands, no. It's very awkward. It's really good because she can change the direction of the ball very well, but it really limits her reach.
Well, Bud Collins called that a double Chrissy in your behalf, and Bud is with us down at courtside.
A double Chrissy it is indeed, and they are a select extraordinary breed. The first one is believed to have been a Canadian, Lorne Maine, the late 1940s. We've had U.S. Davis Cuppers, Gene Mayer, and the current Jim Pugh, Greg Holmes. But not only is Seles a double Chrissy, both hands on both sides, but she's a double Jimmy. Now, our colleague James Scott Connors introduced the Sea Lion's Bark to tennis, the first big grunter, but Seles outgrunts him 2-1, as you shall hear.
Okay. Well, no groaning with you, Bud Collins. They'll be grunting in a moment. Steffi Graf and Monica Seles for the French title, center court, Roland Garros.
This crowd of 16,500 around center court. Seed number 1 seed, number 1 in the world, Graf. Number 2 seed, number 3 in the world, Seles. Martina Navratilova certainly would be a factor had she decided to play here, but she bypassed the French. She's working on her hopes of a 9th Wimbledon title. And here's how Monica Seles at 16 continued her winning streak, which has now reached 31 in a row. Piccolini, an Italian, Kaleschi, the Canadian, Meshki, the Soviet, Gildemeister, the last woman who has beaten Seles, Manuela Maleva, and then Jennifer Capriati. She lost 2 sets in the process. In contrast, the number 1 in the world, Steffi Graf, as she goes for another Grand Slam title, it would be her 10th, and she is not 21 yet. She'll be 21 next Thursday. Beat the French woman Paradis, Santrac, an American, Cecchini, an Italian, Toziat, 15th seed, a French lady, Martinez, Conchita Martinez from Spain, and Yana Novotná. Look at the scores. 6-4, Toziat. That's the closest anyone has come to taking a set off Graf. Is that good or bad when you come into the final having won every match so easily?
Well, Steffi's now playing someone a level higher than anyone she's played previous in this tournament, and Monica also hits the ball twice as hard as anyone she's played. But I just think Steffi will get psyched up, rather easily for this match.
Chair umpire is Michel Perrault of France, and he introduces the 2 finalists. It's the 4th Grand Slam. There's Monsieur Perrault, the 4th for Seles, and young Steffi Graf, who's not quite 21. She is in her 24th Grand Slam event. And she has a string of 13 straight finals in Grand Slam events. That's a record. Well, there it is. Steffi Graf, Martina Navratilova with 11 in a row. Little Mo Conley, 7, Margaret Court 6, and Chris Evert 6. And it's interesting, Mo Conley's name, the great American who won the Grand Slam, is there. She won the Grand Slam as a teenager. She died just a couple days after Steffi Graf was born in 1969. Mo Conley was only 34 at the time. And tennis's great friend Ted Tingling, who just died a few weeks ago, often compared Graf to Mo Conley. The bouncy attitude, the almost ruthless manner in which she wants to win points.
Well, aside from the fact that they both won Grand Slams at an early age, their styles are very similar.
Graf to serve as we open the 90 championship. Pretty good opening answer from Seles. Graf has been broken only 6 times in her 6 matches in this tournament.
Monica already taking the initiative, and she is the one that's the more aggressive player.
One corner to the other. Very dark at the moment. Huge cloud overhead.
Well, the conditions are really heavy because the sun's not out, and I think that really will slow down the court. Both these players liking to hit the ball so hard, it'll give them more time to run down a lot of shots.
Whom does that favor more?
They both hit so hard, I don't know who it favors.
break points for Monica Seles, who starts the way she finished against Capriati 2 days ago.
Again, she pins one in that backhand corner. 3 winners there for Seles, who breaks to open this championship.
Today we'll talk more about
Monica Seles impressively breaking Graf to open the match.
Mademoiselle Seles.
And Seles, well, Graf just broken for the 7th time in 7 matches. Monica with not a big serve, and she's had less success, although she gets 80% of her first serves in.
Monica's serve is really the weak part of her game. I remember Martina Navratilova, after losing to her, said if Monica could develop a better serve, she'd wipe everyone off the court.
She's been broken 16 times in her previous 6 matches.
Most players seem to hit at Graf's backhand all the time. They really want to get that ball. Monica's hitting a lot of balls to her forehand.
Terrific angle by Seles.
Ever since Steffi came back from her thumb injury, she's been missing a lot of her forehands. That's her trademark. That's her best shot. That's what she's known for. But she's been a bit wild the last few months.
Fractured the thumb in that fall while skiing, avoiding a photographer back in early February.
Ooh, runs around the backhand and hits the line.
Here she took advantage of Monica's second serve, and that's what she's known for. It's a great forehand.
Avantage, Mademoiselle Graf.
Graf with a chance to break back.
Well, that's her favorite shot off the backhand. It's a two-handed backhand because she's left-handed. She loves hitting that down the line.
What a shot.
Great angles.
Right off the court by Graf's forehand.
Avantage, Mademoiselle Seles.
Yeah, like two fighters. They'd come out toe-to-toe. Not much sparring around. They've gone right to it.
Jeu, Mademoiselle Seles.
Seles with a 2-love lead.
Most of her winners this match have been down the line. Steffi's expecting the cross court, but as I said before, two-handed on that side is well disguised.
Well, that's the advantage of the two-hand. What's the disadvantage?
Less reach.
Explains in part why you won't see Seles at the net very often.
Well, when you see Monica go for a one-handed forehand, you know she's really stretching.
Just long.
It'll be interesting to see if Steffi does try to get her into the net. That is another weakness that Monica has. Steffi has a good drop shot. She should try that a little bit, or any short angle shot.
Players like Steffi Graf, is she close to anyone?
Steffi really isolates herself from the other players. She's very friendly. She's very nice, but she tends to want to be by herself. Not very approachable.
It's wide. 15-30. How about Monica?
Monica's a lot more approachable. She's friendly. She's young. She's having fun with this tennis, with her success.
Well done.
See that extremely high service toss of Graf.
She really gets a lot of kick off that serve.
Return winner. And another break point for Seles.
Oh, she returns well.
A wonderful defensive lob to get her back in the point, and Seles has broken Steffi Graf 2 consecutive times and leads 3-love. Dick Enbrook with Chris Everett and Bud Collins, and his eyebrows are raised with the.
I'm with Carol Seles, Dick. And Papa Seles, are you surprised at this start?
I am very happy. Monica very good play. Steffi good play. Monica and good tactic. I am very happy. Ali my think and so difficult and a match and my think and my personal think and Steffi winner and 2 match and big experience. So good player. Long
Good
time.
experience for Steffi.
So Steffi, yes. Monica maybe and good play, maybe in close match.
Well, maybe.
Yes.
Dobre strecha. We'll talk to you again.
Thank you
Kuala,
very much.
kuala.
Kuala.
Couldn't quite pick out all of that. It sounded
No.
as if he thought Graf would still win.
I couldn't figure it out.
Carol and his wife Esther are both Hungarian, although they settled in Yugoslavia, where Monica was born and raised, and at age 12 she went to Florida to the Nick Bollettieri Academy in Bradenton.
Deuxième service.
You see Graf eager to get to that forehand. It's long to love 30, Bud.
I think you did have the right interpretation. Carol Seles is trying to be very fair. He says that his daughter has to have a very good day and Graf have a bad day. And if you will notice during the match, he applauds Graf's every point. He's very fair.
points with it.
That's good strategy by Steffi. She's going to need to do that a lot more. This is a good shot of hers, a backhand, well-disguised drop shot.
Love, Steffi Graf breaks Seles. And the dominant player in the game of tennis for the last 4 years has her first game.
And there's that big forehand. Steffi's really going to try to mix up her shots a little more and go for that forehand.
Well, she's going to have a lot of time to think about it, because here comes the rain shower that we expected and has been a part of the environment here in Paris the last 3 or 4 days. So it'll be an off and on Saturday afternoon for Steffi Graf and Monica Seles. Both have had their on moments. Seles 2-1 in terms of break points and has a 3-1 lead. We'll continue our coverage of the French Open Championship in just a moment. Center court here at Roland Garros. As you can see in the distance, there are lighter skies, so it's just another one of those wonderful Parisian June showers that shouldn't delay play too long. It reminds me, and Bud Collins was quick to refresh our memory, that in 1988 in the Australian final, you played Graf and you were leading when rain hit.
I was leading, and it was outdoors, and we went in the locker room and watched a Mike Tyson fight. I remember that, Steffi and I both. And then it continued to rain, and they closed the roof. So we went back out, and it was indoor tennis, and I think I lost like 8 or 9 games in a row. It wasn't my forte, but I don't have good memories of that match.
Now, give us a feeling of what they might be doing now. Would Graf and Seles actually be in the same company during this rain break, or would they try to isolate themselves?
They would go to one another's camps. I mean, Steffi's going to go to her coach and talk a little bit about strategy, because what she's doing out there now is not working. And he will probably tell her, you know, mix up the pace, try a few drop shots, which worked in the last game. And Monica, I mean, what can her family say? She's doing great.
I would think that the rain delay might hurt her. She's off to such a great start. Well, the 2 weeks here in Paris have been glorious indeed, and there have been many stories, and one of the biggest headliners is not here today, but she stayed a long time, 14-year-old Jennifer Capriati.
Who is Jennifer Capriati, and what makes her immune to the attention and pressures of this French Open, her first Grand Slam event? Jennifer came into Paris unseeded and untested, having played in just 4 pro tournaments. For many, Roland Garros would provide the first clues as to Capriati's greatness. After breezing through the first 2 rounds, Jennifer had her first date on center court, respectful but not intimidated by her debut appearance there.
It was a great feeling. It was the best feeling of my life to be out there, to walk on it.
Mercedes Paz was the next victim in the 4th round. Jennifer dissected her 11-3 in under an hour. By now, there are a few skeptics. Jennifer had taken Paris and made her mark on the tennis world as her parents, Denise and Stefano, looked on. The whirlwind tour continued with a quarterfinal match with Mary Jo Fernandez. Jennifer became the youngest semifinalist ever at the French Open and assured her of a ranking of 13 in the world. Not even a subsequent loss to Monica Seles in the semis could dampen her spirits. After all, there's more to life than tennis for this 14-year-old, including her favorite music.
Yeah, this is Ben Cassier. My favorite song is Can't Touch This.
Can't touch this. Can't touch this. Can't touch this.
If Paris was impressed by Jennifer, then Jennifer was equally impressed by Paris. Of course, she couldn't leave town without seeing the sights, so I took her along the Champs-Élysées to a couple of my favorite spots.
Oh, that would look good on you. That looks like your dad. Doesn't that look like your dad? I mean, dark and everything. I mean, that looks
Dark and conservative. But if you're going to try something on, those, I mean, pick one that you like there.
What's my size, do you think? Are these, you put your arm through it?
Oh, you know what? It goes like this.
Oh, yeah.
See what I mean? You have a bare shoulder, and then it goes on the sleeve. Oh, oh. Okay. Okay, okay. Now we'll hold her, and then she can model. Oh, mon petit fille.
You like this?
Now, how about how is it? It's much better like this.
I like it.
That looks really nice.
Wait. My goodness.
Black shoes would be beautiful. Yeah, it's like, a diamond heart. Yeah. Daddy, you want to